Alright, so today I'm going to be playing Apex Legends, and I chose this for this game journal because of the chapter we read about culture in games this past week. Um, and I think this game does a really good job of involving a bunch of different uh, characters, or legends as they're called. They all have their own personalities that matches their kits or their abilities and their playstyles. Because there if you saw, there's 5 different classes, um, and the classes have their own abilities, as well as each legend having their own specific abilities as well. It really depends on playstyle, and I think it's really nice that this game can involve you know different characters' playstyles the way that they do, because you can be really aggressive. There's really aggressive characters. There's passive aggressive characters, complete defensive. Um, it really just depends on how you like to play your first-person shooter games, and battle royale games at that too. So, like I said, I'm just gonna be messing around in this firing range, showing off a different of the Legends abilities, or a couple different Legends abilities. Um, I thought, I'm going to hop into a game later. It's just gonna be like a bot royale game, is what it's called. Um, just where it can go a little smoother, and I don't have to worry about anything really. Um, but I think, or I know the chapter mentioned women in games, and how they're used as victims typically, or sex objects. I know those are 2 examples that the book gave. Um, but this game does a really good job of not doing that. Um, Honestly, the women in this game are some of the more powerful characters, at least as of right now. Obviously, it's not unbalanced. Obviously, there are really strong male legends in this game, but I think it just kind of goes against that of what the book said, and how games used or portrayed women as victims or sex objects. Alright, so I'm just going to skip to the end, and we can go ahead and hop into it. So I'll kind of go through the game and what it does to show you everything. So right here, this screen, it showed me the title of the map in the top left, or the game mode, and then it showed me the title underneath that, and then it had a picture of the map. This screen right here is the Legend Select screen. Uh, each game consists of 3 teammates, unless you play duos, and then it's just 2. But you have 3 people on a team. Uh, no one can pick the same legend, so there's only 1 legend per team. Um, but so we kind of get that. Like I said, I'm in a bot match, so the champion squad is going to be my team, whatever. But typically, it's the champion squad is the team that did the best the previous match. And I'm sure you'll know, like, battle royale games. You start in it kind of started. They didn't start with Fortnite, but that was the most popular one, where it had the battle bus. This one's a drop ship. Um, but start there. It goes across the map. You jump out whenever you want and land wherever you want. In this, you jump out as a team, unless you choose to jump away from your team solo. And so my teammate was Jump Master, is what they're called, and so just jumped with him, and that was fine. We landed here. We just gotta grab our loot. They have arsenals, which is what I grabbed this weapon from, this R99 that I was holding. You can upgrade it. There's different weapon classes. There's light weapons, snipers, heavy ammo, heavy weapons, energy weapons, all this kind of stuff. Like I said, I'm in a bot match. These people are not going to be. They're not real. They're not going to be hard to kill. But like I said, it's just a show. But you knock somebody, it shows up on your screen. Your screen. You finish them. They turn into a death box, and you can grab whatever they had in their inventory, if you need it, if you want it. Although there's a limit. The world building in this is really well made, I think. This map specifically is known as kind of like the perfect professional, like competitive map. Just the layouts of everything, the fact that not one space is too open or too enclosed, because there are maps that have that issue. But this map in particular is known as like the perfect competitive map. It's personally not my favorite. There is one of the map that is my favorite. This is probably my second. But this map also has environmental hazards. There are spider nests and prowler nests. The prowlers are like the closest thing I can describe them as is like dogs. Just harmful dogs, whatever. But the addition of those works really well with this map, because you know the prowler nest would be out more in somewhat open areas. They have their own like dens or whatever that you can use as cover in a fight or whatever. And the spider nests are in smaller enclosed like cave areas around the map. But there are different things that go on in each game, and it makes each game a little different. And that is what some games struggle with. But this game, with the wide variety of legends, there's map rotations. So right now it's every 4.5 hours the map changes, where you don't get kind of burnt out on one map. It'll change to another one, and then there's only like a 3-map rotation per split of a season. And I think that definitely adds to replayability of the game, where like I know it's 4.5 hours, and a lot of people don't play for that long. Myself, I also don't have that much time to play. But you know, you may get let's say you play for 2-3 hours, but you get right in the middle, so it's the end of one rotation and the start of another, so you get the time to play both maps. But it definitely, like I said, it helps with replayability and the different legends you can play. Switch up your play style if you want. There's different game modes too. There's this if you just want a really laid back experience. Just, you know, like I said, it's bots. It's not hard. Yeah, you get a really laid back experience with this. If you want, you know, somewhat a little bit more of a challenge, you just go to play regular, just regular battle royale. And then, you know, if you want a challenging experience, play ranked, which is typically what I play the most. And then there are just some fun side game modes. There's a wild card. If you're familiar with Call of Duty Warzone, it's similar to Rebirth, where it's like a regular battle royale match, but you respawn. When you die, you'll die out, and you'll wait depending on how far it is into the game, let's say it'll be 5 seconds at the start, 10 seconds, and then it keeps going up until I think it eventually goes up to like 50 seconds. Um, but you have your team, and if your whole team dies um, before you can get back in or you can get respawned, then you lose. I mean, so there's obviously a winning and losing factor to that as well. Um, and then there are smaller modes like control or team deathmatch, which is team deathmatch is a 6v6, just kill race, and then control is a if you're familiar with Call of Duty, like a domination type of game mode where there's 3 points on one part of the maps that you have to capture and hold against the other team. So those you just play in your pastime. You know, if you don't got a lot of time to play, you just hop on one of those, just kill some time. You're good. It's really nice that there's different there's different game modes you can play for when, let's say, you get burnt out of one for a little bit, you played a little too long, so you're just like, oh, I'll just go play something else. Or, I mean, if you're playing it for that long, you could just get off. But yeah, if you want to stay on, there's different things for you to play. But if you don't want to play different things, like I said, you can change which legend you were playing and any of that. Okay, so I'm just kind of going here. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the HUD, because I've just been kind of rambling. Uh, there's a mini map in the top left, and one of the characters or legends on my team right now, his name is Seer. He's a recon, and recon legends can scan survey beacons, and that shows you where every enemy is on the map. And he did scan it. You know, I pinged it earlier for him to scan it and everything. So the mini map is really useful. You've seen, I have. You can pull it up like basically full screen, zoom in on everything, ping wherever you want. Like say you want to go somewhere, you ping there. But so the minimap is a really useful tool, and there's the ring countdown. So in Fortnite, it's equivalent to the storm, but right underneath the minimap, it's got the 2 and then the 17 seconds right now. Basically, where it's until it closes, and the 2 is what ring it is. It's round 2 ring. And right here, I go down. I'm just messing around, just kind of playing, and you see, I have a knockdown shield. I don't need to use it. I'm just crawling back to my teammates, where he can revive me. And then, so let's see, the top right of the screen. See, besides that, there's a timer for how long it takes to revive. Some legends can revive faster than others because of their class, what kind of class it is. But other than that, top right, I got squads left, 5 kills, 2 assists, whatever. So there's a lot of things on the screen, but it's kind of small to where you're not really, it doesn't take too much of it. Because there are some games where the HUD is very overwhelming, but this one keeps it kind of minimized. Everything to the sides, the corners. Right here, this is this is a summary of the game. I'm just gonna leave, but you know, it has us 3 as the champion team at that point. But yeah, that's it.